Aryan was a 14-year-old boy who lived in a small town in India. He was bright, curious, and kind-hearted. But there was one thing he always struggled with: English. In school, whenever the teacher asked him to read aloud or answer in English, Aryan froze. His throat tightened, his hands grew cold, and his mind went blank. Words danced in his mind but never came out of his mouth. His classmates often giggled. Some even whispered, "He can't even speak English." Aryan hated those moments. He felt embarrassed and helpless. Though he studied hard at home, learning new words was tough. He could understand the meanings but could never remember them in real situations. His teacher, Ms. Reena, was kind but strict. "Aryan, you must practice more. English is not a monster. You just need to make it your friend." Vocabulary introduced: struggle, embarrassed, hesitate, whisper, fumble. One rainy evening, Aryan took a different route home. He walked through a narrow lane and found an old bookstore he had never seen before. The shop was dimly lit, filled with dusty books, wooden shelves, and the smell of old paper. An old man with silver hair and round glasses looked up and smiled. "Looking for something special?" "Just books, sir," Aryan replied shyly. The man pointed to a shelf at the back. "Go explore. Books choose their readers." Aryan wandered through the shelves. A dull, brown pencil caught his eye. It was lying between two grammar books. Oddly, the pencil had golden letters on it. "Words are magic." "How much for this pencil?" Aryan asked. "For you." "It's free," the man said. "Use it wisely." Vocabulary introduced: ancient, mysterious, discover, corner, gifted. Let's begin with a simple truth: many students don't hate learning, they just hate the way it's taught. Imagine this: a child wakes up on a Sunday morning, jumps out of bed, grabs a comic book or video game, and gets completely lost in it for hours. No one tells the child to do it. No pressure. No reward. Just joy. Now, place a schoolbook in front of the same child, say, a 40-page chapter on photosynthesis, or the French Revolution, and the magic disappears. Suddenly, everything feels dull, heavy, and stressful. Why? Because the way traditional studying is presented kills curiosity. Most of us are taught to study only to pass exams, not to understand the world. We're told what to study, when to study, and how to study, but not why. We're handed syllabuses, tests, and deadlines but never shown how to make learning a personal adventure. The result? Boredom. Resistance. Frustration. The truth is, learning is not boring, it's the way we are forced to learn that makes it boring. If you've ever stared at a textbook for hours and felt nothing but dread, you're not lazy. You're not stupid. You're just uninspired. And that can be changed. Let's dig deeper into something most students feel but rarely talk about: the fear of failure. From a very young age, we are taught that grades equal intelligence. That report cards reflect our future. That scoring low means being less. Society, parents, relatives, sometimes even friends, everyone expects us to win. To perform, to be the best. We carry this invisible weight with us every time we open a book. This pressure doesn't inspire us, it paralyzes us. We begin to study not because we want to learn, but because we want to avoid shame, punishment, or comparison. Imagine this. You open your science book. You don't understand the concept on the first try. Your brain whispers, "You're slow. Everyone else gets it faster." That night, Aryan opened his notebook and decided to try the pencil. He wrote a word: brave. Suddenly, the pencil glowed. Aryan gasped as new writing appeared on the page. Brave, adjective, showing courage, example. Aryan was brave to speak in front of the class, synonyms: bold, fearless, courageous. Aryan stared at the page in disbelief. Was the pencil magical? He wrote another word, happy. Again, the same happened. Happy, adjective, feeling pleasure or joy, example. She was happy to see her friends, synonyms, joyful, cheerful, glad. Aryan spent hours writing words. Each time, the pencil offered definitions, examples, and synonyms. Vocabulary introduced, glow, appear, synonyms, example, magical. The next morning, Aryan felt excited. He had learned 10 new words. At school, he tried to use one in class. When the teacher asked, "How do you feel about the test, Aryan?" he replied, "I'm confident, ma'am." Everyone turned. Aryan had never used a word like that before. Well said. Ms. Rena smiled. His classmates were surprised too. Aryan walked back to his seat, heart beating fast. He had spoken English. And it felt good. That night, the pencil taught him more. Confident, adjective, feeling sure about yourself, example. Aryan felt confident after studying, synonyms, self-assured, certain, positive. Vocabulary introduced, praise, bold, nervous, sentence, improve. Aryan decided to learn one new word every day. He kept a journal. The pencil helped him choose words like curious, gentle, eager, and respect. With every word, he wrote a sentence and read it aloud. Slowly, he noticed changes. His pronunciation improved. He remembered meanings better. He even corrected his friends gently when they used a word wrongly. English was starting to feel less scary. Vocabulary introduced, journal, habit, routine, learn, curiosity. 2 weeks later, Ms. Rena announced a vocabulary quiz. Aryan was nervous but excited. The test had 20 words. Aryan knew all of them. He wrote quickly and confidently. The next day, the results were out. Aryan had scored full marks. Excellent work, Ms. Rena said. I'm proud of your progress. Aryan blushed. His classmates looked at him with new respect. Vocabulary introduced, achieve, intelligent, prepare, practice, result. Aryan started helping his friend Mina, who also struggled with vocabulary. He taught her 5 new words each week using the pencil. They played word games, made flashcards, and acted out meanings. Soon, Mina began using new words too. Aryan felt proud. Vocabulary introduced, teach, help, explain, understand, meaning. One day, Aryan went back to the bookstore. The old man was waiting. The pencil is old, he said. It once belonged to a famous writer. But remember, magic helps only those who help themselves. Aryan nodded. I've been practicing daily. Then you're using it well, said the man. The real magic is your effort. Vocabulary introduced, secret, wisdom, writer, respect, knowledge. A month later, Aryan was chosen to speak in the school assembly. He panicked. What if I forget everything? But he remembered what the pencil had taught him, believe in your words. He practiced his speech with the help of his journal. Vocabulary introduced, panic, prepare, speak, stage, audience. The big day arrived. Aryan stood on stage. The hall was full. He took a deep breath and began. His voice trembled at first, but soon grew stronger. He used powerful words, words he had learned from the pencil. When he finished, the audience clapped loudly. Ms. Rena wiped a tear. You were amazing, Aryan. Aryan smiled. He had found his words. And they had found him. Vocabulary introduced, speech, applause, growth, inspire, victory. Aryan's success in the assembly speech made him popular. His teachers praised him, and many students started asking. How did you improve your English so fast? Aryan thought for a while. He wanted to help others too. So, with Ms. Rena's support, he started a vocabulary club after school. Every day, students met in the library. Aryan introduced new words using fun games, group stories, and drawing exercises. The club's first word was motivate. Motivate, verb, to make someone want to do something, example. Aryan wanted to motivate his friends to learn English. Vocabulary introduced, organize, club, game, participate, creativity. Chapter 12, The Missing Pencil. One afternoon, Aryan opened his bag and realized the pencil was missing. He searched everywhere, his desk, locker, even the playground. Panic set in. Without the pencil, could he still learn? He told Mina. She said gently, "You already know how to learn, Aryan. The pencil just gave you confidence." That night, Aryan couldn't sleep. But in the silence, he remembered all the words he had learned. Maybe Mina was right. Vocabulary introduced, misplace, search, depend, worry, forget. Aryan decided not to give up. He visited the library, borrowed English storybooks, and downloaded free vocabulary apps. He made flashcards by hand and practiced daily. He even recorded his voice reading new words aloud. Slowly, he realized he didn't need the pencil anymore. The real magic was practice and patience. Independent, adjective, doing something without help, example, Aryan became an independent learner. Vocabulary introduced, effort, resource, practice, habit, independent. Aryan's vocabulary expanded faster than ever. He read short stories, watched English videos, and wrote essays. He even submitted a short story to the school magazine titled The Word Collector. When it was published, everyone appreciated his creativity and language. Creative, adjective, using imagination to create something. Vocabulary introduced, creative, guide, teach, improve, expression. One evening, Aryan opened his journal and saw a note in golden ink. Asterisk, Dear Aryan. You no longer need me. You have become the writer of your own story. Keep learning, keep teaching. Your magic pencil. Aryan smiled. The pencil had never been the real teacher, he had taught himself. Vocabulary introduced, message, truth, realize, journey, transformation. To inspire more students, Aryan and the Vocabulary Club organized an English fair. It had stalls like word treasure hunt, idiom bingo, spelling maze, picture vocabulary match. Over 200 students participated. Even teachers joined in the fun. Enthusiasm, noun, strong excitement about something. Vocabulary introduced, event, organize, fair, participate, enthusiasm. Aryan met a new student, Kavya. She was shy and afraid to speak English. Aryan gave her his journal and said, "Start here. 1 word a day." Weeks later, Kavya stood in front of the class and read a story aloud. Aryan felt proud. He saw himself in her. Vocabulary introduced, encourage, uplift, motivate, relate, empower. Aryan opened his old pencil box and found the pencil again. This time, it glowed faintly one last time and faded. It was a goodbye. Aryan placed it in a frame on his wall. It reminded him that knowledge is never lost, it becomes part of who we are. Self-reliance, noun, depending on yourself. Vocabulary introduced, goodbye, memory, glow, strength, self-reliance. Aryan began uploading short English videos online, sharing vocabulary tips and simple stories. His channel quickly gained subscribers. Students from other schools thanked him. He started a free podcast too, called A Word a Day with Aryan. Vocabulary introduced, online, share, reach, content, inspiring. At the school farewell, Aryan received a special award, the Word Warrior. He gave a speech. Words gave me courage. Now I give them to others. The more we share them, the stronger we grow. He handed his vocabulary journal to Kavya. Keep the journey going, he whispered. Legacy, noun, something passed from one person to another. Vocabulary introduced, legacy, mentor, journey, future, continue. Aryan entered college with fresh hopes and a deeper love for words. His reputation as the word warrior followed him. But this world was different, bigger classes, faster English, and unfamiliar accents. He felt lost at first. But he remembered his journey. He opened a new journal and wrote, Day 1, begin again. Adapt, verb, to change and become comfortable in a new situation. Vocabulary introduced, adapt, unfamiliar, journey, fresh, challenge. Aryan proposed a project to create a student-friendly English dictionary with visuals, simple definitions, and usage examples. His professor was impressed. A team was formed. Aryan led the research, word collection, and content writing. Collaborate, verb, to work with someone to create something. Vocabulary introduced, project, propose, collaborate, definition, usage. Aryan and his team organized a language fair inviting students from other colleges. Events included vocabulary roleplay, word debate, story writing contest. The fair created buzz, and Aryan was praised for his leadership. Communicate, verb, to share thoughts, feelings, or information. Vocabulary introduced, fair, event, communicate, organize, leadership. At a seminar on Why Language Matters, Aryan shared his story of the pencil, his struggles, and how words shaped his world. People were moved. One student even cried, saying, "You gave me hope." Inspire, verb, to fill someone with the urge to do something. Vocabulary introduced, inspire, seminar, share, emotion, message. After the seminar, an elderly professor gifted Aryan a golden pen. "You remind me of myself," he said. "This pen is my story. Make it yours." Aryan took it with gratitude. This time, no magic, just meaning. Gratitude, noun, the feeling of being thankful. Vocabulary introduced, gratitude, gift, remind, legacy, meaning. Aryan started an online course, English Words, Simple Stories. His videos mixed storytelling with vocabulary building. He used animations, quizzes, and personal tips. The channel reached 50,000 learners in 3 months. Accessible, adjective, easy to reach or use. Vocabulary introduced, accessible, course, learner, animation, audience. One day, Aryan received an email. I am 62, learning English for the first time. Your stories make me feel young. Thank you. Aryan read it thrice. He had touched hearts across generations. Connect, verb, to join or relate with someone or something. Vocabulary introduced, stranger, generation, connect, emotion, letter. Aryan was invited to speak at an international youth conference in Singapore. It was his first time abroad. His topic? The power of one word. He opened with, the word believe changed everything for me. Empower, verb, to give someone the strength and confidence to do something. Vocabulary introduced, international, stage, empower, confidence, opportunity. Back home, Aryan volunteered at a center for children recovering from trauma. He told them simple stories with positive words. Over time, the children began expressing feelings through new words. Heal, verb, to make or become healthy again. Vocabulary introduced, trauma, heal, express, emotion, comfort. Aryan's dream came true. He opened a small, interactive museum called the Word World. Each room explored a theme, kindness, courage, imagination. Words lit up the walls. Kids played vocabulary games, touched glowing word screens, and took home a journal. At the exit was a golden frame with his original magic pencil. Beneath it, a sign read, "Words once saved me. Now, I let them save others." Vocabulary introduced: museum, exhibit, imagination, kindness, explore. Years passed. Aryan had become a known name in education. But his biggest dream was still unfulfilled, a school where children would learn not just grammar and rules, but the magic of expression, empathy, and imagination through words. With support from friends, donors, and his online community, Aryan laid the foundation for the School of Words in his hometown. Foundation, noun, the beginning or base of something. Vocabulary introduced: foundation, support, imagination, empathy, dream. Unlike traditional classrooms, Aryan's school used emotions, real-life stories, and creativity to teach English. Children learned vocabulary through painting emotions, writing about their feelings, and role-playing their daily struggles. Emotion, noun, a strong feeling like joy, anger, or sadness. Vocabulary introduced: feeling, creativity, expression, connect, understand. Each week, Aryan would pick one word and tell its origin, its history, and how people used it in stories. Students learned that words weren't just tools. They were stories waiting to be discovered. Origin, noun, the beginning or cause of something. Vocabulary introduced: origin, discover, ancient, evolve, storyteller. Aryan launched a project called Letters to the World. Children wrote letters to unknown people across countries, thanking them, asking questions, or simply sharing their lives. The responses they received created bonds across borders. Correspond, verb, to communicate by exchanging letters. Vocabulary introduced: correspond, connect, kindness, culture, global. When conflicts arose in nearby areas, Aryan taught his students how words could bring peace. They created poetry walls, peace posters, and shared hopeful words with nearby communities. Resolve, verb, to find a solution to a problem. Vocabulary introduced: peace, resolve, conflict, express. Aryan planted a tree in the schoolyard called the language tree. For every new word a student learned and used meaningfully, a leaf was added to the tree's branches. It became a living symbol of growth. Flourish, verb, to grow in a healthy way. Vocabulary introduced: flourish, symbol, meaningfully, branch, growth. Teachers from around the country began visiting Aryan's school to learn his methods. He created a training program called Words with Wonder, focusing on emotional vocabulary, real storytelling, and interactive learning. Mentor, noun, a wise guide or teacher. Vocabulary introduced: mentor, method, share, educate, impact. Aryan compiled his stories, letters, and vocabulary lessons into a book titled The Magic Pencil. How One Word Can Change a Life. The book became a bestseller and was translated into 15 languages. Publish, verb, to make a book available to the public. Vocabulary introduced: publish, compile, bestseller, translate, author. One morning, Aryan received a package. Inside was his old pencil, now glowing faintly. A note read, "Return this when your journey feels complete. Until then, let your words guide others." He smiled. Some magic never fades. Guide, verb, to lead or direct someone. Vocabulary introduced: return, package, memory, guide, glow. Chapter 40, Words Without End. As Aryan stood before his graduating class, he shared his final message. "The pencil gave me a start. But it was you who gave meaning to words. Never stop learning, never stop sharing. Because when you give someone a word, why?